Первым фильмом казахстанского...
The film Amangeldi, released in 1938, is considered to be the first film of Qazaq cinematography. Today, after more than 80 years, Kazakhstani cinema confidently enters the programs of the world's major film festivals, and the annual box office of our film distribution amounts to tens of billions of tenge. Hello everyone, this is Qazaq Cinema program, and Bekbolat Uvaliyev is with you. The discussion platform we discuss continues to acquaint residents and guests of the capital with short films of young Kazakh directors. The next show was dedicated to the social theme. The audience saw a trilogy of short films Bayka, Sakta and Kara. They were presented by young Kazakh filmmakers Duysin Kalimjanov, Kazbek Rustembekov and Yelaman Shaubayev. One of these short films was shot at the moment, that is, at the moment of the January events, and the other two were shot in the summer.
В титрах этого альманаха, то есть всех трех социальных короткометражных фильмов.
In the subtitles of this almanac, i.e. all three social short films, there is an extensive list of the film crew, comparable even to full-length films. Since Astana and Almaty filmmakers worked on this project, it was just a gathering of young filmmakers who expressed themselves in this way. The directors emphasize that the plots of the films have not been subjected to any adjustment and fully reflect the author's vision. Each film is a separate chapter and a story about different people. According to the authors, the main values that the film carries are patriotism and family values.
Это очень динамичное кино, это короткий метр, опять же, хочется сфокусироваться на этом. И за счет того, что...
This is a very dynamic movie. This is a short film. Again, I want to focus on this, and due to the fact that the form itself and the timing dictate.
И кино должно быть очень динамичным, очень прогрессивным, современным в своем высказывании.
Producer Diana Ibrayeva spoke about the goals and objectives of the We Discuss discussion platform.
Short films do not go anywhere beyond student screenings and festivals, and the audience simply does not watch them. And we wanted to create such a platform where every young, talented, and not only any director could show his film at all, so that it would reach the audience. Our main goal was precisely this, for the viewer to watch a movie, and a short one in particular.
Цель была именно в этом, чтобы зритель смотрел кино, а именно короткометражное.
Казахстан за последнее время стал одной из самых перспективных.
Kazakhstan has recently become one of the most promising countries in terms of the number of cinema halls in Central Asia by the level of viewer loyalty to the repertoire of American and European film studios. Kazakh dubbing of films has also gained a new breath. Now dubbing of films in our republic takes place not only in Kazakh, but also in Russian. The first Hollywood film professionally dubbed into Kazakh for the big screen was the animated film Cars 2. Over the 11 years that have passed since the date of its premiere, 38 films dubbed in the state language have already been released in domestic distribution. Dozens of world movie stars and cult heroes spoke Kazakh. Most of the dubbed films are animated, and science fiction films from Disney, Marvel, Sony Pictures, and Lucasfilm designed for children and school children. This is a fairly reasonable policy, given that one of the goals of dubbing is to make popular and help in learning the Kazakh language. Thanks to the project, the Kazakh language became the second Turkic language in dubbing after Turkish, and the 39th in the history of the Walt Disney Company. More than 100 domestic actors enter the voice base of Walt Disney Pictures.
Солай емес пе, достым?
Dubbing started not long ago, not 10, not 20 years ago. This is the end of the 1950s, when we already had a huge galaxy of wonderful theater and film artists. The same films, Jibek, My Name is Qazaq, and in principle most of the films of that time were voiced by our film studio in Almaty. This was done not only because there was a demand, but because it was technically very difficult to record sound on the site. Such technologies did not yet exist. Everything had to be spoken. And let's say the actress herself who was invited to the role of Qazaq, Miruyert Utekesheva, she was very young then. And in order for the role to succeed and become even brighter, and to take a special place in the hearts of everyone, the actress Farida Sharipova was invited, who voiced the main character and bestowed her voice on this heroine. Today there is an erroneous opinion that all Hollywood content comes to Kazakhstan through Russia. Films from Disney and Sony Pictures studios come to us globally through the neighboring country. Other companies such as Warner Brothers, Paramount Pictures and Universal Pictures work directly with a Kazakh distributor. Specialists of national studios have already dubbed several big-budget projects into Russian, including the action movie Bullet Train, with Brad Pitt and a whole galaxy of Hollywood stars.
Привет. Ты не помнишь меня?
Ты похож на всех белых хипстеров разом.
Правда? Так и не вспомнил?
The fourth part of the superhero action Thor, called Love and Thunder, was also dubbed into Russian in Kazakhstan.
Сколько прошло? 3-4 года?
8 лет, 7 месяцев, 6 дней. Плюс-минус.
Чувства проснулись?
Еще чего.
All the Marvel Cinematic Universe superheroes also spoke Kazakh in the teaser for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Мен әлемдегі ең құдіретті елдің патшайымымын. Ал менің бүкіл отбасым қаза болды. Барымнан айырылдым емес пе?
The inhabitants of the distant planet Pandora will also speak by voices of Kazakh theater and film actors in the second part of the fantasy Avatar: The Way of Water.
Бар білерім, қай жерге барсақ та, отбасымыз. Біздің қамалымыз.
The editors of our program also visited the Geek Culture Festival in the capital to meet with a young team of enthusiasts, the Anne Studio. The guys chose the genre of animation for the realization of their creativity, namely the translation and dubbing of Japanese animation into Kazakh.
Мы группа энтузиастов, которые...
We are a group of enthusiasts who decided to realize the vision of voice acting in the Kazakh language. By developing Kazakh dubbing, we develop our culture, language, and thus our Kazakhstan will become better. According to the guys, their team is one of the first who started doing voice acting in Kazakh, and the result today is a multi-million-dollar audience, not only from Kazakhstan, but also from other Turkic countries, in particular Turkey. Team members shared their opinion on the quality of modern dubbing in our country. There are enough good dubbing actors in our country, people that our country lacks, good directors who could oversee this process. Why Thor: Love and Thunder was so good? It is because it was overseen by a dubbing director who officially worked for Marvel. She came to Kazakhstan together with Ivan Zharkov and Tatiana Shitova, and with our actors. She supervised the whole process, and now we have got a good product. I think it is necessary to develop good directors, so that they understand how to play a character, how to convey this or that emotion, and so that a person understands the context of the film. The Ministry of Culture and Sports assures that they are already negotiating with foreign film studios so that the Kazakh audience will definitely not be left without film premieres.
Как известно, 2022 год стал урожайным на награды для...
As you know, 2022 has become a fruitful year for awards for the Qazaq cinema. For example, the drama Scheme, dedicated to the problem of drug addiction among teenagers, directed by Farhad Sharipov, won the Grand Prix of the Berlin Film Festival in the Generation program. And today the talented director Farhad Sharipov is a guest of our studio.
Сегодня талантливый режиссер Фархад Шарипов стал гостем нашей студии.
Farhad, welcome.
Good afternoon, good morning, evening.
We know that directors don't have time of the day. There can be night and daytime editing. Nevertheless, it's very nice to see you. Congratulations on the Scheme, winning the Generation section of the 72nd Berlin Film Festival. This is another great achievement for you, but we would like to start with a different topic. After all, your films conquered large venues abroad. You have got lots of experience. Can you give your expert opinion on how to make a movie that will be understandable and will resonate not only with the Kazakh audience, but also with the world?
Мне кажется, нужно пытаться как можно сделать историю личную, местечковую, и вдруг...
It seems to me that you should try to make as much as possible a personal history, local, and suddenly, at one moment, when you do it correctly and sincerely, you will understand that it is actually global. It means that when you watch a good film, let's say an office film, you understand that in Sweden or, I don't know, Finland or Iran, life is actually the same everywhere. There are some nuances, but people, they are essentially the same.
Но люди, по сути, в своей сути, они одинаковые.
So you need to make a story that reflects exactly the place where you live, such a macro view of your world, and this will resonate with all the people.
I think so. You should not look for some kind of universal recipe. There is none. Allegedly, this particular topic works in Kazakhstan and does not work somewhere else. I don't think that's the point of the issue.
Суть вопроса не в этом.
Тебе заняться больше нечего,
Твои фильмы 18 кГц и фильм «Схема» — это, по сути...
Your films 18 kHz and Scheme are essentially two films that compose the same ideology. How much did you dive into it? We know that you spent several years first working on the script and then the production period, production, editing. How long does it take you personally to immerse yourself in a story before you form a certain look and then it all develops into a script that can already be shot?
Очень много. Но со схемой было вообще все сложно, потому что мы отказались от сценария.
A lot. With Schema, everything was difficult in general, because we abandoned the script. We thought over the story. We understood that this story should be shown a little differently. The episodes and scenes that were selected, they took shape during our filming, and quarantine helped us in this regard, because it stretched our filming process and gave us some head start. We had the opportunity to work on the story during filming, which is very often, of course, not allowed.
How easy was it to work with teenagers? All the same, this is a young energy. Are you charging yourself, and how difficult was it, maybe at some moments, with acting in the frame?
Именно с актерской постановкой в кадре.
Мне очень понравилось, потому что, как бы я для себя открыл.
I really liked it, because I discovered a new method of working with an actor. I liked that right on the set we found some moments, some keys, using which we could resolve the scene. I understood that a 14-year-old actor with no experience, no skills at all, cannot work with text, in terms of memorizing 2 pages of text, and we have long scenes, or even 3 pages of text, then it will sound like a poem at New Year's party.
Или даже 3 страницы текста, то это будет звучать как стихотворение на...
Therefore, we immersed ourselves in the situation itself as much as possible, tried to imagine it, and gave freedom in some moments, cut the direction, and it so happened that it became some kind of new experience for me. I will probably try to bring it to the next pictures.
Стало каким-то новым опытом, и я Наверное, постараюсь его попробовать пронести в следующие картины.
That is plus one technique in your piggy bank.
Maybe yes.
Well, since we mentioned the State Center for the Support of National Cinema, in whose expert council you were a member, judging by the results of the pitching, which are now known to everyone. 62 projects were supported. One of the projects is very interesting, a musical film called Soldier of Love. And the fact that you will shoot it also cannot but please us. We wanted to know more about this project. There are a number of questions. It will be a story about the band, as far as we understand. And music, and the co-producer of this film is Bayka Serkibayev, a member of the legendary Almaty band Studio. How was the idea born? Were you originally in this project, or will you and Bayka make such a collaboration?
Да, Байгали давно пытался запустить мюзикл, причем у него два проекта по мюзиклам. Это киномюзикл и театральный мюзикл на сцене, который ставится.
Yes, we will. Bayka has been trying to launch a musical for a long time, and he has two musical projects. This is a film musical and a theatrical musical that is staged. And he has been trying to launch both of these projects before the pandemic. But something didn't work out there. We met him in the winter. He told about the idea. I had him at the Kazakh premiere of the film The Scheme. He watched my film. He really liked it. And he decided to trust and told me, here is such an idea. Can we make a musical? And then I literally wrote the first draft of the script in a very short time. And it was a story about our Kazakh group, about a young author who is going through difficulties. He has his first family, his first child, and he has a choice whether he can feed his family by means of art. As always, the hero faces a choice.
Выбор между сможет ли он прокормить семью творчеством. Такая, как всегда, перед ним встает выбор.
Will this be a classic success story? Is a young musician overcoming difficulties?
Но это история выбора.
It's a story of choice, I mean, and above all, this is a love story, and the story of search of the source of creativity. The story is about the author. The success story in our film will only be a background, meaning how difficult it is for us.
As far as we know, the musical will be a new genre for you. Is this challenge and creative task interesting for you?
Да, на самом деле это Дина Жумабек, мой продюсер, она окончила Академию мюзикла в Нью-Йорке.
Yes, it is. Actually, this is Dina Jumabek, my producer. She graduated from the Academy of Musicals in New York. She has been dreaming of a musical for many years. From our first film, she said, maybe a musical, and personal growth training, then 18ch, The Scheme. These are three heavy dramas. But they may not look super heavy visually, because our viewer is now accustomed to some kind of super bright violence on the screen. But to be honest, these are really difficult films for me, psychologically. And we decided to take a break. Our decision was confirmed by a call from Bayka. Everything turned out so well that we clearly understand that we must do this now.
What about the soundtrack to the film? As far as we know, there is information that this will be new versions of the famous songs of the Studio band. And will they be performed and sound completely new in the film?
Ну да, что-то мы оставим в прежнем звучании.
Well, yes, we will leave something in the same sounding. We want to translate several songs into Kazakh, which were in Russian. Both Emil Dusov and Bayka Serkibayev are working on new arrangements, and we are going to attract more co-authors for music.
Еще соавторов в музыкальном плане.
Well, we hope that the project Soldier of Love will turn out to be an excellent musical film, will become the golden collection, and we will be happy to watch it again and listen to everyone's favorite songs. As far as we know, this is not the first time you have worked with the composer Emil Dosov. Well, I remind the audience that today our guest was a director, producer and screenwriter Farhad Sharipov. This was Qazaq Cinema program, and my name is Bekbulat Uvaliyev. Let's love and support modern Qazaq cinema together. There is lots of interesting ahead. In order not to miss new releases, do not forget to subscribe to the accounts of our TV channel and social networks.